on the front porch talking to Gregoire over 2 cups of coffee. I got a quick question for you. He sets down the mug, staying from the dishwasher. Apartment 461. Had the beans delivered from a monthly subscription box. The homepage looking awfully familiar. Asked a quick question, got no login. Wait, I'll take a second. We watching 3 men rep up the street in between. Morning work woke me up, I couldn't sleep. I asked where he's going, he said he's gotta get out of the heat. Hey, Olympic Stadium sweepstakes. I put my bid in and walk out. My trombone legs, my knees fake. Ration my morning energy, this cheapskate. Countdown to another quick question. I offer up this constant mosquito buzz. I leak days out of me. This constant plumbing the spirit. I leak space out of me. That's an agenda, I'll be running through 10,000 of these wastes. The clock ticks, but everything repeats. And I chase, and I chase, I chase. The coaster saying circular over the scene of a deceased place. You said you like where you going. Every day start with 3 eggs. I said I hate what I'm doing. Every day in the same place. And when I crack, I'm always picking pieces out of the damn plate. Day in the same place. Right. 36% left, as tradition says. Spent all morning leveling the shelf, framed by the intersection of myth and the legit action of events. Never seen the inside of the cockpit, so I'll imagine it instead. The air dense. To really nail the landing, I'll hammer again. Put to rest fragments of myself. Watching the first half of Hancock, turn it off halfway to walk to the depth. Turn it off halfway to walk to the depth. Turn it off halfway to walk to the depth. To the depth. To the depth. I take 30, end up walking in place. Restoration to absence of name. Dead asleep at the midpoint of everything I partake. Let me give it to you straight. As the timeline lengthens, I slowly switch off my brain. The sidewalk cracks underneath. I hear everything. You get one wish, you ask for more, I'm going a separate way. The rotting in my teeth goes as slow as belief. The only plague I've been around for is waking up from this sleep. Waking up from this deep sleep. Waking up from this deep sleep. Another alarm I throw on out to the wind. I see the weather vane spin. This a delicate situation, a whim. When your jacket pocket gets stuck and you snap like it's the end of all this shit. I'm going out for a bit.
Slip on some bergs before I casually slid. For ease of mind, I need to shoulder some shit. Nothing that the smallest cope couldn't fix. In narrow straights, you hardly holding my width.
I try to loosen, tighten up on my belt.
Not supposed to be just posing in stress
of a fragile body from the front, like you just some silhouette.
Now you withholding the span. Burning holes is better known as regret.
If I'm gonna take the time to stitch it, better leave it as is. The name tag on your chest, wiped clean, I forgot if we met. After all that was said, I think it goes that I'm spent.
Put on some slow jams, I think that would be best.
I'll double down cause I got something to give. A single room starts spinning, I'm alone for a bit.
Got that aurora borealis effect. And grab my keys before I walk to the death.
Rather be your enemy than here you
In the dark, you couldn't tell the mural was unfinished. bicycle leaned up against a fence, a flat tire seat gone, two kids looking around for the witness. Obviously the whole story missing, but one day you'll wake up distilled down to image. He said I had the build of a first baseman. I slipped into the front driver's seat 10 p.m. This ghost town a wasteland. I couldn't make the same mistake twice. Radio connection breaking. Only thing I can hear is the static. I get impatient. In the dark, you couldn't see the wallpaper was ripped. My relationship with a single room leaves me questioning what can live in it. Centered round cluttered, some toys from the past tenant. He pulled a camera off the dolly outside the window to see what's around it. Few paintbrushes in a bike seat. I always flee the scene smiling, reset the car mileage. He said I had to walk as someone alone going to the movies. My shoes muddy, I always put him on the seat in front of me, laughing hysterically when the credits running. The only point is you're here with me in it. The only point is you're here with me in it. The only point is you're here with me in it.
One night I've been every year. One night I've been every year. So never know the real sad thing unless one went down, 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 down.
One by one, the cannons fall. The desk was burnt orange. She threw it out the truck bed in some spectacular show, but the point goes missing on us all. Over my head, the sky reddening. Either this storm will dissolve, or I look for something to keep my eyes on. I don't wanna stare at the screen for too long. Hey. My glass filled halfway, that's already asking for too much. At the self-checkout, this barcode's cut up. Having to repeat the motion with my hands while the screen breaks up. I'm just trying to grab lunch. Not in the mood to talk to no one, I've had enough. Walk out, this bird is stuck in a dump behind the building, but trust, I don't know how to handle nothing. Don't give me a life to look after, I need much less. Trash full of one of the deli workers' hairnets. I take the gravel path behind the park, someone's smoking a cigarette. Always looking for the way to reverse the zoom on this. Always looking for the way to reverse the zoom on this. Night drizzle begins, I question if I should break into a run. For me to break is always enough. They gon' ask you to layer up. A windbreaker to attract the heat in my attention 101. Turn the corner around the block, white square on the front. Another me inside looking through the people. He can't see the rain coming from above. I ain't missing this shit again. Ain't driving 10 minutes to pick nothing up. Spot is driving 5 blocks down. My feet moving like I'm scanning a picture of something. Maybe a Polaroid of my dog. Maybe the rushing into this fog. Maybe the glimpse of a strike of light in my hand, steady regardless of the click in my jaw. Maybe a sketch of a cough. He hits the gas, we lock eyes for a second and he's off.
Exhilarating, but right here from the breakwater, it does have a sort of dangerous feel about it.
Silver ribbon on the horse saddle. Ridden west on the train car, camera snap. Open chest, found a snake rattle. Wound had to bite, just a baby tooth. Where I brush my teeth at night, like how are you? This is self-portrait from the adjoining room. The floor plan and open view. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you. And in the morning, suggestion like the map key. The play scene abruptly swung around, my circumference somehow lacks me. I heard that comfort sends you packing. Progression is an eye in the storm. I look outward and see my last name. Water gun, pressure soaker. Hit the center, number 4 running past me like a horse race. Fragility is a short day, and here I am like I understand anything. The epigraph gon' hit it out. Hillside, the rental car, broken windshield is coming down. The epigraph gon' hit it out. Hillside, the rental car, broken e-brake is rolling down. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you. And in the morning they gon' name the storm coming in after the future you.
Center of the track, 1, 2, of course they are.
You saw how she looked, how she spoke to him. She's one of them. Till I listen to the roar of the sea and it speaks.
Hey, the truth was I got accustomed to silence. The call to siren, a simple introduction to mileage. I'm walking late at night, suddenly interrupted by my face on a Honda Pilot. I'll break a sweat every time we talk about scope. Binoculars out the window as I drove slow down this country road. I'm full. Fridge magnet was a quote from someone below. A man at odds to know his mind. The rest scribbled out, rightly so. The truth is in the smell of fish coming from the bridge. I woke up sick. They don't wanna hear your dreams, that's some kind of repeat and rinse. This the increasing of the tips. Left in my mind, a single Turkish lira, a map of Lake Erie, a bad review of every day I've lived. The scale tips, I sweat it out. Outside, someone digging through the bin. Sounds like the call to mermaid. I don't wanna get nostalgic, but of course I'm gonna have to lean in. It's like my mom always said, you keep sticking out your ear like that, don't come crying when you get picked up in the wind.
The strange thing is, they just allowed you to suffer longer and go faster. But it's rare that the pain lessened.
What is it that drives?
Hey,
Presumably,
nothing worse than the understudy. Authenticity a treadmill, and I'm running around the block. My heart rate monitor giving me clerical errors. My money's unclear in the air. Things I couldn't collect, a couple hair strands I'll see in the mirror. The only thing they got in their tool belt is capital. I got a buddy in Washington hitting the trails. At some point you're gonna have to contribute to something. I plot my EKG with a couple grass blades, they'll wash away in the hail. Hands shaking, my blood sugar tanks. With these schematics, my cable management has me anxious all day. No such thing as overthinking, I don't believe in that play. And if I need protection from anything, it's from letting shit go to waste. Hands shaking, my blood sugar tanks. With these schematics, my cable management has me anxious all day. No such thing as overthinking, I don't believe in that play. And if I need protection from anything, it's from letting shit go to waste.
I think there are mixed motives for everybody. Some people it's simple, pure and simple glory. Others it's power. Others it's a sense of obligation. And for many, it's a combination of all of those. You sometimes get the impression that they're in a kind of bubble. They're just kind of thinking about what they need to do in order to achieve their goal. Maybe sometimes lose a bit of perspective. Is that fair enough? I think it's very fair. I think it is exactly that. It's a bubble.
Hey.
Bubble.
Blood doping, just a trick of the trade. A field guy that picked up on vacation in a forest in Maine. The North American goldfinch, a book the same name. The pavement hot as shit, I'm barefoot. There's not much often in my way that I don't face on the daily. Don't be greedy with it, like any of us aren't failing. How it's constant, I pale in comparison. The brochure detailed that none of this will be worth it. Breathe deeper, another 8-hour work shift. The welcome packet, front page, Henry Darger ripoff. I spent my middle school years skipping rocks, talking to the janitor about it all. Where you going after this? I'll call Tom Collins highball to settle it all. Hands shaking, my blood sugar tanks. With these schematics, my cable management has me anxious all day. No such thing as overthinking, I don't believe in that play. And if I need protection from anything, it's from letting shit go to waste.
Maybe sometimes lose a bit of perspective. Is that fair enough? I think that's very fair. I think it is exactly that. It's a bubble.
Yesterday, this was the empty drawer, hand in, asking what I came here for. I empty my pockets out on the desk by the door. Simple stuff, AirPods, house keys, one of those tourist wallets, map of Barcelona from a visit a few years before. Card's always slipping out if it isn't full enough. This is my childhood bed frame, 6th grade, a field trip to catch crawdads by the lake. Feet running at the first ring of the bell. Today, saved by white noise, 8 counts in, 4 out. Some guy online states, aren't cash, they all signed. You double underlined your name.
Find a cool place near the water.
Good night's sleep calling me in. Empty drawer full of rocks, cement leaves. This birdhouse non-committal by design. Here I find myself in my backyard again. On a large scale, ain't no point in this. On a much smaller one, just another hole to dig. Maybe we haven't bent the twig enough. So much fucking talking at once. So much fucking talking. 8 counts in. We could crack a couple beers, throw this thing out and catch a fish. I'll excuse myself from conversation, find a stump and break my arm over it.
Find a cool place near the water.
The traffic spit you out, leave you stuck in stillness, questioning the repetition off the side of that highway building. And if there's a method to labeling something, the ratio is inconsistent. You won't catch purpose in that solitude 100 years ago when you're non-existent. It was a cold email to Dove, it was a warm response sitting at Charcot, a few friends with you in the dark room. It was a few screenshots strung up on the twine. It's always the drop attempt that leaves you out to dry under this stock image of a half moon. The high tide pulls lightly on the brake. radio cutting in and out. All I heard was it's all gonna be erased. You grow up thinking frugality and sunlight come from one and the same, but my shoes soak from the rain. The truth is I'm just trying to get away, sitting on the front porch talking to myself about a couple bad eggs. My day plans include walking around the block and coming up with a reason to remain, as if your shoes were laced, one on each side of the scale. Of course they're the same weight. I don't have to waste time telling you these stupid things. Isn't that all this is? Just a way to get from point A to point B. The only points we add up is spare change, but what's a day but a receipt? Another line out of missing, my whole stock room emptying. I don't think I'm interested in refilling it. It's a dense curtain of fog surrounding this small boat I'm sinking in. But according to that man on the street, it's been rising the whole time. I tell him thanks for the reminder and set that in the back of my mind. The only thing different between here and there is a small line. I reach my hands in front of my face, I see the first drop fall uneasy from the sky. I reach my hands in front of my face, I see the first drop fall uneasy from the sky.